Okay, so I actually accidentally cut the last video off. So this would be part two to that video. And like I was saying, for the second type of digital products that you want to sell, rather than me telling you, I think the best way for me to do it is to actually show you guys what you can sell. So in terms of selling printable, whether that's worksheet, journals, if it's even like I'm not sure if a planner would be included in a printable, but yeah, a planner can be included, but it has to be a very short planner and not a planner like in terms of a academic planner. You can do mood trackers. So let me just go back, and right here I have daily planners, and Canva actually shows you different types of daily planners right here. So my monthly plan, daily plan, and these are all printables. You can sell them in terms of set like these for 4 sheet for a specific amount. You can do my plan for the day. This is just 1 sheet, and you can do like 5 or 7 of these as a set and sell those on Etsy, right? If you even want to do the same my day but do a different color for each day, you can do that. Like, you can switch it up. You can do a to-do list, right? There's so much things when it comes to printables. There is so much things you can sell on Etsy. You can sell a planner, like planner worksheets, like workbooks. They're just small, like 4 page, 5 pages that persons just print off and use those. So as you can see, my cursor is on run right here. So here you go with another weekly planner, my daily planner. To-do list is just a 1 page printable, but you can do a daily to-dos list, and you do 5 to 7 of them per week. You can do a grocery list, right, and make a set. So if persons go weekly, you can make a grocery list for 1 week. You can make a set that includes the amount of grocery list you can do for an entire month. And you can even do a big bundle that includes just assortment of designs for an entire year, that a person can just pay one price and use those. And then they can actually keep an inventory of what they sell, not an inventory of what they sell. They can keep an inventory of their household expenses, right? So try to be creative, not just with the designs, but in what value can someone get from it. So if you do like a grocery list, for example, and especially if you're marketing persons who like to keep a spreadsheet, or they like to keep records of their expenses, then make your design in a way where it is ideal for record keeping. So whether that's record keeping digitally, whether they can put it in a microchip on their phone and just keep it there digitally, that they can put in one of the bigger micro SD adapters, the small ones that you can put in the much, still small, but to some degree, it is not to some degree, but it's bigger. So I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but you have the ones that you can put in a computer, and you have the micro part that you can put in a phone. So create them in ways where they have functionality and persons can use it. So if you do like a grocery list and you're targeting persons who keep inventory and records of what they sell, then make it in a way where persons can actually keep it in a file on the Microsoft, and then that can be transported from their phone through email. They can save it on Google Drive. They can keep record keeping on, Google, in their Google Drive, and they can actually use it from their phone to their laptop, right? So think about functionality as well, right? So going down, we have some more, right? We have this daily planner. We have a lot of design. When it comes to planners, there is so much design. What I've done though is I have taken this planner, which is just my plans for today, and I've actually redesigned it. So I created the template first. This is a sneak peek into what I'll be selling on my Etsy store. I made the template first, which is just the background and this right here, and I took the same information and, to some degrees make changes. But I want to see, and I'm going to do a video later on of taking you through the final product of this change, or just going through and changing this one so you guys can see how I go from this to that, right? So that's a lot. You can do printables. If you even type printables in the search, right? Printables will come up as well. So you can put my personal reflection, goals, and plans. There's so much. Printables on average are usually, you can do a set, you can do a one-page printable. Sets are easier because persons like, the functionality that comes with it. So like I said, think about functionality, right? You want to do a financial report. If you want to do a printable for someone who is keeping record of household expenses, then you can do that. Do things that you're passionate about, things that you can use. I like planners because I don't use printables. I didn't even know what printables were when I started university. But had I known, I would have invested in printables, right? But I've used to some extent these concepts in my own personal life, which is why I have a passion, I guess, for it, right? So, and that's why I do this, right? So in terms of printable products, that you can sell on Etsy, I'm just going to go through a few examples of printable products that you can sell. I don't have a lot right here, but I'm going to just go through a couple of them, right? So like we say, we have the planners, we have the printables, right? You can do workbook for children, coloring activity, like daily coloring activity. You can do printable planners, right? With that, we can do like a habit tracker, a mood tracker. You can give a sheet where they do a daily gratitude sheet. There is so much you can do. You can do financial planners if you want those. Financial challenges, a one sheet printable. So much you can do. So like I say, with tip number 2, be clear and precise on what you'd like to sell on Etsy. So first, decide what you want to sell, whether you're going to do handmade products or not. Create, sit down and think about it. So I'd say yes. There's so much more. There is so much more things you can sell on Etsy just for digital products alone. But it would take me the whole day, literally, to go through every single thing a person can sell on Etsy. Like I said, persons have just shops on Etsy that sell only wall art, and they do many different design of wall art. So even if you want to create an Etsy shop that focuses on digital products and not just a few types of digital products, then you can do that. If you want to focus solely on one thing like social media, then just do that. If you want to do branding, yes, you want to make your store about branding, do that, and then create content surrounding what your store is about, right? So with that, make sure it's synchronized, and you're adding value. Ultimately, you want to add value. You don't just want to make a quick buck on Etsy. You want to actually add value to create lifelong relationship with your customers on Etsy, right? So my third tip is to build your digital product or business, right? So for me, and I'm going to speak on my specific case. For my specific case, I already have an existing graphic design company. As you guys know, Zarin's Designs, right? I already have that. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, created a LinkedIn page. I don't have a website as yet because I am I financially struggling at this moment, will not be forever. Putting that out there in the universe. University student, right? So it ain't got it like that to begin with. Good. Okay. Now, I just got a little bit passionate there. But start small. My motto is start small with what you have because what you have is enough. That's my motto. If the only thing you have right now is free Canva, start right there. I started with Canva free and now 17 months later, I'm going to be able to pay for the monthly premium for the pro. Start with what you have, right? So don't kill yourself off. Yes, start where you have. So in my case, start with I have an existing company and then I'm branching out to Etsy. The way I've always visioned my business is Zarin's Design was always a broad name, and then there were always underpinnings or sections of Zarin's Design that will bring me revenue. So whether that's Instagram, YouTube, Etsy, Fiverr, Design Hill, right? I wanted Zarin's Design to be the name, and then everything under that would be different ways in which I can use my skill, graphic designing, to diversify income, right? So boom, start there. If you don't have an existing account, and for example, you don't have an existing account as a graphic designer on Instagram, on Facebook, nowhere on the internet, create one, build one, right? Create one and build one. If you want to do that, if you just want to sell on Etsy, then just sell on Etsy. If you want to go on Facebook or on Instagram as an Etsy seller, you can do that as well, because there are a lot of persons who do only that, right? So I'm an existing business and then I'm branching out to Etsy. So if you're starting from scratch, then I have two other tips under this tip number 3. Focus on your business model, right? And focus on your brand strategy. And your brand strategy must include branding, right? So if you're going to start on Etsy and then branch off into social media, which is opposite to what I'm doing, because I started on social media and then I'm branching off on Etsy. If you're doing it that way, then focus on your business model, which your business model is what is your value proposition, how are you going to bring your products to customers. Let me see if I have this written down anywhere so I can give you guys everything for it. Business model, business model, business model, business model. But a quick search on YouTube, right, can help you guys. Okay, here we go. So with business, you're going the first, and this is just everything under the business model. So ideation stage, that is going from an idea to an actual business model. So first go through the ideation. Consider all the possible options, and from those pick out your optimal and most viable options. Point and case, the reason I say that is you can do graphic design on Etsy, but you can't do everything. You only have 24 hours in a day, and you only get 7 days in a week. You only get 30 days some months, 31 another days, and 28 or 29 days in a February. You see me? Therefore, because time has constraints, there is an ultimate constraint on what and how much you can do. If you want to design everything and hire help, we do that. Kudos to you. Do that. But if you're doing it and growing your brand by yourself, then you can't do everything. Be realistic now. You can't do everything. I have to do graphic design. So nobody come home na Etsy shop and put up one bag of things in there. Just pick one thing now. But don't say pick one things. Pick 5 things at most. 3 to 5. One thing, diversify it. Or just the 3 to 5. I can't see myself opening an Etsy shop selling wall art and then 15 variation of wall art. Me are the type of person, I'm easy to get bored. So no, I like challenges, I like learning new things, and so me love variation, I love diversification. And me that. If you can open a store and focus on one thing, do the one thing. If you're still like me, where you know say you have some attention deficit of some sort and you can't focus on one thing, then you need to do multiple things. I just multiple things under one branch, you see me? Then do that. I'm not judge you. You see it? Alright, boom. So first part is the ideation stage. And with ideation stage, I say consider all your options, right? You can do graphic designs, but there's so much things you can do on a graphic design. You can focus on branding, social media templates, printables. You can focus on wall art. You can focus on quotes, affirmation cards, right? There is so much things you can design as a graphic designer. So much digital products you can design as a graphic designer, right? Consider all your options, and when it comes to viability, I'm going to tell you how to choose what is viable to you, right? For me, because I've timed this process, it takes me around an hour and a half at max to create one of these templates. I'm going to show you this template that I did from scratch. If I'm creating a template from scratch, mean blank paper, white, nothing a depth on it. You see? You see? It'll take me an hour and a half max. So like this planner right here, so hour and a half come and do it from scratch. Go down some more. That one here, said thing. Hour and a half. Well, it needs to take me less still because we build up, a system of how we are designing it. So after you design the first one, the second one, then your brain kind of create a system of how you're gonna do it. It gets easier thereafter. So your time invested in creating one more additional unit. You see, me teaching economics now. Listen to me. The time it takes to create one additional unit is less than the time it takes to create the first unit. And that's economics, marginal return. You see me? Open up my ears and listen to me. All right, now, boom. So once you decide, say, this is how you want to do, then boom, focus on this. For me like track, I like plan, I like them things, I like plan overall. Me want plan everything. If I can plan it, I plan it. Use it. I made that. so now when it comes to viability comes two ways. Find what you're the best, what you're the most efficient at. For me, it takes me an hour and a half maximum to do it. But I can do it in a 45 minutes, an hour. Some templates we create in a 15 minutes. Like this never take me long to create. This was 15 minutes. The only thing we do, because we create it from something we can but already have, isn't it? It never did hard. So this will take me around 25, 30 minutes max. It take me probably way less than that. So when you consider all your options, consider picking the most optimal and viable one. Optimal meaning how much can you create? Because we only have 24 hours. So let's say you want to dedicate, for example, 6 hours to you want the 6 hours probably on a Saturday, a Friday night, and a Saturday night. Just focus on designing for your Etsy shop. Boom. You only have 12 hours aggregately between them 2 days. You see me? So, you want to spend 12 hours creating something where it's going to take you, 12 hours to create one thing. Like if you do illustration, say that kind of time consuming stills. So, say you have to charge a premium price because of the amount of time where you put in that. However, if you're an illustrator but you just want to make a little money on the side, you already have all of the knowledge and tools for be as a graphic designer to put in other things, isn't it? So, as an illustrator, I probably take you a week for design a character, a illustration, whatever the case may be. I don't really know all the things that work, but I just say for point and case. If it take you like a big 2D or whatever the case may be, versus, you open an Etsy shop as graphic designer, you just want the printables. You see me? Boom. it take you 30 minutes to create a printable. In a 6 hours, how much printables you can create in a 30 minutes? 12. In a 2 day, 24. Boom, you upload them the pan Etsy. Versus if you did a sell illustration now and you gotta take all a week to produce one illustration, that just don't make sense. It may viable, but it not optimal because you honestly, make catch a drift. Alright, so optimal for me, I have to be with how you have to maximize your output within a fixed time. So if you decide say you're gonna do 6 hours like me say, and John do 6 hours, John can make the pan Etsy now. But John probably push out more content than you pan Etsy because he might maximize how much he can, what the return he might get pan in time constraint. You see? So when it comes to optimality, that's how we look pan. In a one fixed amount of time, how you can maximize how much things you have put out. Right? So the more things you have put out and the more things you have can sell on Etsy, the more your shop will grow. You know, the more Etsy you gonna put up your things in a people face and say, yo, buy this. You see me? Boom. So consider all your options and then choose the optimal and viable one. You see me? Boom. Optimality in economics terms just goes back to what you have a comparative advantage for. So economists like to use the term comparative advantages when we're looking at productivity, right? So if one country can produce 10 shoes in a day and the next country produce 5 shoes in a one day, the country will produce 10 shoes in a one day. The best thing for them do is to produce 10 shoes in a one day and then trade with another country who can produce more product what them can produce and then trade. Is it? So we kind of use a bit of economic background, education way of thinking, we kind of make them decision making process easier. You see me? All right, boom. So that's after the business model. We still up on the business model. The next thing is prototyping. So I am going to do a pre-launch, and this falls under prototyping. I am going to do a pre-launch, 5 digital products, and my prototyping is just basically testing the market. Me want to see how well them something here perform. I want to see how much revenue me can create, what kind of information or how me can use the analytics from Etsy and make better decisions. So when you say boom, you make your product, all right now, boom, you listen for Etsy, the prototyping part is all right. You make the product, you sell it. Without that, you're going to use customer feedback. Sometimes if your product not sell, then probably you can do the same thing, but reinvent it, right? If not, and you do something and you say, say your customers, them like the idea where you put, but them more or less have some of the same modification, then you can create a new product with fit more of the demand because your customers are always tell you what they want. So that all fall in the prototyping, you see? It's like a test, a create, release, test, modify, and then repeat. It's like a cycle. I don't really have words speak, I'm not the business and them things. So I'm not have like terminologies, The next thing is navigating your environment, right? Like me say, Etsy and all is like a platform. I'm gonna have to go into details with that. Then I say proving it and testing your business model. So proving it and testing your business model is all right, set a goal. If you want to make $100 your first year, and you say boom, you make $200, all right, then you can continue and do what you do. But if your goal is to make $100 and you make $80, all right, or we can improve and get to $100 faster and quicker. Right? So you always have to modify and make changes and improve upon things, right? Then now, because we're not gonna pitch nothing, we don't just automatically exit the part which are the last part of the business model, which is pitch your business idea or tell your story. You can actually not eliminate that part here. Like if you have a close friend and you trust them not gonna laugh off your idea and make you feel a certain type of way. You can, pitch your idea to them. You see it? And see what them think, make them give some input. You can pitch it to a teacher, a friend, stranger on the road. Then they know you. Then now you feel, you may feel judging a one little 20-minute conversation, but you know, then not gonna say again. So you have to feel no way. A complete change up on the road, you can just pitch your idea to them and ask them what they think, then would I buy the product here based on the idea and you know, dating. So that's what a business model is all about. So back to step 3. So if you're starting from scratch, like me say, focus on your business model and then your brand strategy. So first part of your brand strategy is actually creating the brand. I will if I not get into this too now. So whether they think so this I gonna include, I just list them off and I can write them down and go do no further research on them and them things like. So brand idea, your brand core value, your brand promises, your CEO story, and them are things when I go on from it. Social media. And I go on this way Instagram, put it in an highlight. So when people come across in Instagram, and they just have a about highlight, where they can just go through all of the information here. They can just get acclimated a little bit too. You know, your Instagram page where you're about all them things there. So you want your CEO story, your brand story, brand journey. Your brand story you can start from the genesis of how this start and all them things like my brand story so far. I can't even, I don't know, make put up on paper. So your vision, right? I would say I do brand vision, but I actually update, improve upon my brand vision to include SDGs. I think because of where we are going in the future, persons who are going to focus on brand strategy, one of the best things to focus on is your SDGs. Get familiar with all 17 sustainable development goals, and these are global goals for the entire world come 2030, and include them there in your brand vision. So if you want to look at fair, equal opportunity, and you want to teach girls skills and create employability for females, that is a part of the SDG goals, right? Off the top of my head, I remember that one day because we had a graphic design, you know, I don't know how above land and below water would that really help me with this. But even have an initiative where you know want to clean up some beach and them things there, you know, put that in the SDG. Even have like I want some youth program once a year and clean up beach, you know, do that thing. Education, you want to start give some grant and them something there for the youth them go school. Yeah, put some SDG goal in there and solidify up on a business model and own a plan for create change in our world. You see, because an idea is not about how much money you can make, it's about how much impact and change you can create. Alright. So the next thing now open in a branding, you want to open on a mission statement, and the mission statement and those objectives for 6 months, a year is just short term. So whether you want to look on you want to launch a course, you know you have want to launch a course in a year, you can put that in your mission statement for probably like your mission statement for the year 2022 coming, right? So your mission statement is always changing and evolving, but your mission statement works in tandem with your vision and your brand. So your mission statement is the vehicle that ultimately carries you to the destination of the vision of your company. Is it? So just start thinking about all them things that, you know, in a more holistic way when it comes to, you know, creating a business. Like I said, when me start, I never think about them things, yeah. But you know, after I do some courses and them something, it get kind of easier for me start think differently, more from a business perspective than whatever me did before. So on Facebook, you know, if you want to put on your pricing and payment method, you can add that to your Instagram accounts. You know, on Etsy, pretty simple. Them keep everything on Etsy, so you don't need a payment plan. But if you're going to go on Instagram and promote your products there, then you can do one or two things. You know, you can just always funnel the traffic from Instagram to Etsy, or you diversify your income in a one way where you can sell on Etsy, but people can also buy the product straight off of Etsy, straight off of Instagram. So if somebody not really want left Instagram and come off of Instagram and go buy on Etsy, yeah, you can set up your payments method in a way where you can receive payments straight off of Instagram and somebody can buy your product and you just send it to them. You see? But the difference is with that now, them can't go up on Etsy and leave like a bad review and them something because, you know, they never really leave. You have to just create some contingencies for that. So you have your payment policies, your no return policies. I have some other things I may want to mention. I'm gonna find it. I made a listen to like one lawyer girl on YouTube, and she that talk about like clauses and all them things that when we really as small businesses we're supposed to put in our payment. But may I just run through, so may I just leave that as is. Then your booking, if you want somebody for book with you on Instagram, all them can go about doing that. And that's just basically everything. These are like the top part of your branding. The bottom part of your branding now with the content include content marketing, your digital marketing, email marketing, and all of them things there. So you have to just go do your little research on them things there. It still fall under branding, but you don't have to go do your little thing on that. So tip number 4 is understand Etsy, how Etsy work and how to grow your brand on Etsy, right? So because you're not going to use a platform that is inherently not yours, naturally, understanding how the platform works and how best you can use the platform to suit you and your goals and objective, you need to understand how the platform works and how you can use the platform in a one way to meet your goal, right? So whether your financial goals and all them things there. Well, because in a self and Etsy, your monetary such financial goals. So understanding Etsy, how it works and how best to use it to grow your brand on Etsy. So whether that you have to learn about them advertisement strategy, the best ways to like sell and list your products on Etsy, learning about the metadata, which is the first couple of lines in your descriptions, how to up to your SEOs and all them things that just on Etsy alone. So that is tip number 4. Tip number 5 now is starting from scratch and launching on your launching strategy. So for me, this applies to me because me start from scratch and my launching strategy. So as I've mentioned before, I have a pre-launch product. So that is a part of my launching strategy. My personal launching strategy, your launching strategy can be completely different. If you just want to create something that launch on Etsy, do that. That's just for you. Then the last tip I have written down, and I'm gonna go through them tips. I gotta change or modify. So the last tip is understanding and conducting market research for your niche. So remember, I say explore, and then your niche supposed to do 2 things. It is supposed to be optimal and valid and viable. You want them 2 things in your niche. So understanding how to conduct understanding market research, and then how to conduct market research on your niche. So a couple of tools just off at the top of my head is Marmalade. Is the most famous one for Etsy. No, wait, a Marmalade. Let me find this. I don't want to give the wrong information. Yeah, Marmalade. You have 3. You have Marmalade, E-Rank, and then Keyword, which is Google something PI. I can't really read all them handwriting here. I'm right. But them 3 things are keywords, right? So learn about keywords. E-ranking is for SEO, keyword research, how to be like what the top sellers do and all them things there. You can do a comparative analysis from that, right? Marmalade now give you like Etsy, that helps you with your Etsy SEO. It helps you with your long tail and short tail keywords, right? So invest the time and learning these 3 things, and those are really all my 6 tips for getting started on Etsy. So just a recap is 1, create an Etsy account, set up an Etsy shop. Be clear and precise on what you'd like to sell on Etsy, right? So again, from that, so explore all your options and ensure that whatever you choose on Etsy, your niche, it is optimal and viable, right? Then number 3 is building your digital product business on Etsy. So whether you're starting from scratch and in a way you're going to funnel persons off of Instagram and Facebook, onto Etsy, from YouTube onto Etsy. You know, there's no real way. And then I told you to, for this point, to invest in Pinterest, because Pinterest works as, people use Pinterest as a search engine, right? Because usually persons go from Pinterest to a blog post to Etsy. That is the funneling that goes into it, right? So persons don't really go on it, Pinterest, and scroll through and look at persons, thing like that. If you're on Pinterest, you're most likely searching and looking for something, versus being on Facebook or Instagram passively just swiping your finger through. So the the nature of how persons use Pinterest is different from how they use Facebook and Instagram. So recommended for this step that you create a Pinterest account also. So the fourth step is understand Etsy, how it works, and how to grow your business on Etsy. Number five is starting from scratch and your launch strategy. That is something you have to create, right? Then the last thing is, before you launch, you want to understand the markets that you're getting into and how to conduct market research on your niche. And the three tools that you, like I said before, you want to focus on is Marmalade, eRank, and let me see if this I want to read some. Google Chase PI. I don't really know what that, but just do some research on keyword, everything. Keyword reading. I'm gonna review about that section there and kind of like update it. But that is everything you need to starting an Etsy shop. This is just all of the checkpoints you need. And you know, from here on out, I'm just going to carry you on my journey of how I'm going to actually create my Etsy shop. And you guys have seen where I'm in my Etsy shop. I'm at the part of the shop where I'm supposed to be listing. And as a part of my strategy for launching my Etsy store, I'm going to launch some digital products and do a store-wide sale of 50% for about a month and a half, right? And that's just my launching strategy. With your launching strategy, if you have an existing company, an existing business, operating business on Instagram, you can just roll out some social media campaign, right? I'm not really have social media campaign in the bag yet. I'm still a learn. So I wouldn't even touch points on this. So. But yeah, just create a strategy. Start where you are with what you have, because what you have is enough, right? Boom. And that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I know that the video was a little bit lengthy, but there was a lot of nuggets in there, and I really hope that it's beneficial to anyone who wants to start an Etsy shop. And I really hope it is too beneficial for anyone in the Caribbean or in Jamaica specifically, but more over the Caribbean, who is interested into getting into selling on Etsy, right? Yes. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I told you guys to comment like on 2 or 3 things. So you know, if you want anything, you want clarification or anything, just comment below. I provide those. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm gonna provide all my social media posts on below. So you know, so yeah, that's it. So again, thank you for watching, and this is the end of the video, and I hope you guys have a great day.